everyone. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and this is going to be the full moon in Gemini reading for you. We're going to pull some oracle cards and get a couple, not very many, but a few tarot cards on what this full moon is going to bring for everyone, the collective. So the first part of this message is, well, it's all a general message, so keep that in mind. It may or may not resonate with you depending on where you are in the energy. So take what resonates and leave the rest behind for someone else that is in that energy. So once we pull the message for the collective, I'm going to go ahead and go into individual. I'm going to pull one card for each zodiac sign to see what they may experience this full moon. So stay tuned for that. So let's go ahead and dive right in here. If you're new to my channel, I hope you'll hit that like button and hit that subscribe button down below and join my channel. I'd love to have you here for sure. I do readings when I'm moved to do them. So not really on, I do soul weather forecast each and every weekend for the upcoming week. And let's go ahead and dive in and see what we have here. So I wanted to pull, these are actually new cards. These Gemstone Whisper deck is a new deck I just got, and I was really felt moved to do this for this, like, to get an overall kind of vibe. It wanted to be like the keystone, you know, like I really got these cards were saying, yeah, use this as the keystone for the heart of the reading. So we have meditation. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. I absolutely love this going into the Gemini full moon because, you know, this full moon is really about clearing out clutter, especially clutter in your life, clutter in your mind, looking at things in a new way. You know, this really is transformational energy that, like, what you manifest now can have huge ripples in your life going forward. But manifesting starts, you know, with intention, and that intention starts in, you know, in your mind. So whatever you can dream, you can make your reality if you truly believe that. And that's where this medication, I get that meditation, I see that as being a huge keystone in this reading, because not everybody meditates, but meditation doesn't have to be like formal practice. It's as it indicates on this card about having power over your mind, really being able to control the way that you think, the thoughts that you're thinking, you know, keep those negative thoughts at bay, you know, so that they don't plague our mind. They don't interfere with what it is that we're manifesting into this reality, because it's so important that we get our mind in line, you know, where we're thinking, we think about ourselves in a positive life. We think about the world around us in a positive light. The more that we can get our mind in a positive mindset and believe and have faith that we can control our lives, you know, we have the power over our mind and the way that we think, that this is actually will help us have power over outside events. It'll help us to have the power to change the outside world around us, because we will believe full-heartedly in what it is that we do each and every day. You know, we'll have that strength of the power of determination and belief in ourselves that we can make things happen. It's that strength of knowing what you want for yourself, going after what you want for yourself. Let's go ahead and get the rest of our oracle cards here out on the table. Polarity. Let's see what this card has for us. Polarity. integrate your shadow side. There can be light without dark. Understand the law. There cannot be light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. This is beautiful. This really is talking about balance. This is emanating the Chariot card in the tarot, because the Chariot card usually has the two horses that are representative of yin yang, light and dark, our shadow and dark side, and getting those into balance, getting them on the same page, finding the balance between the two so that we can move forward in a direction that we feel is right for us. So we have here, to get our mind under control, we need to get our mind under control. And once we get our mind under control, where we have, that power over our mind. This is also talking about power over our mind, because it's talking about, basically getting those shadows under control, because we all have those light and dark aspects within us. But, it's understanding what those are, bringing them into balance, finding that balance between them, getting control over them, so that we don't let our darker nature, our shadow aspects, outweigh or outpower our light aspects within us, because we want to strike that balance. We need both those aspects within us, because it makes us who we are. We can't just stamp them out, because it's who we, the good and the bad, the inside of us is what makes us who we are as individuals. It's what makes us unique. So we can't just stamp out the dark, and just like we can't completely stamp out the light. It's all about balance. It's all about striking that balance. And it's getting our minds under control, because it really does affect our destiny. It affects where we're going in the world. It affects what we can achieve in our lifetime. Because our mind has the power to do so much. It can, we can trick ourselves into believing whatever it is we want to believe. Honestly, your power has that much capability that we create. We literally create the world that we see around us based on the thoughts that we think each and every day. Because what we believe is what we see. That's the lens, our beliefs, our values, what we see in our mind, what we believe, what we tell ourselves. Those are what shape our reality. It's how we see the world. It's the lens, the aperture through which we see the world. And so we can look at things and see them in such different life, depending on the aperture that we're using. What are we looking, what's the aperture that we have on the lens of our eyes that we see the world through. I love this. We have spirituality, anti-aging. The truth statement is everything is connected. Light and dark, everything is connected with everything in the world. Everything is connected. And the trigger statement is I am disconnected. And this is, I think there's a lot of people that have a challenge with this, because I know there's a lot of people that sometimes feel like they're outsiders, they don't belong, they don't fit in, but we're all unique and we're all connected. I mean, we all have our light and dark aspects. We all have struggles that we're going through, in life. And that's what connects us, is we're all here on this planet Earth, living out this lifetime together, on this world right now, in this place and time. And we're all here, just getting by, doing the best that we can each and every day, trying to shape the world in the best way that we know how. So it says here, it will be beneficial for you to spend time in quiet contemplation. You need to reflect within to find the answers you seek. So another card talking about going within, meditation again. So very strong emphasis on some quiet, peaceful time, almost reflecting. It's really screaming time to reflect on some things, time to really clean up your house, but clean up your house of your mind, the way you look at things, the way you see things in the world. get clear on, what you want out of life, and go after it. Get your mind in order. If there's any self-doubt, self-doubts or negative self-talk that you do, make yourself aware of those. Think about those things. Think about, take a moment to think about where you are hindering yourself from from moving forward. That Chariot card, from moving forward. Reflect on those things during this full moon. Take a moment to say, look at where in life are you holding yourself back? Where are you keeping yourself stuck and keeping yourself from moving forward? What are your shadow aspects that maybe are getting in the way? Are there places in your life that you feel the need to control things? Are there places in your life that you that you talk negatively to yourself, like might maybe tell yourself things like statements like "I'm stupid" or "Why did I do that?" or where you have that negative self-talk, because what we say and what we think can come to fruition. So it's being very conscious and aware of those things, those moments when we say things that can have a negative impact on who we are, and are, that can implement or enhance our self-doubt, doubt in ourselves, doubt in what we can achieve, doubt in what we can accomplish. Because it's when we have that strong belief, that strong conviction that something's going to happen, we can make it happen. And we'll see what comes out. But I'm really getting this really strong, need, well, twofold. I'm getting that's coming through the Hermit card, very strongly coming through, a need for that reflection, going within, hermit mode, Hermit card. But also I'm getting like this need for the Page of Wands kind of energy, which is that curiosity, excitement. Okay, well, and I think there's a few of them that slipped out there. We'll see what came out here. But it's that Page of Wands, that curiosity, excitement, having excitement for where you're going, what you want, really getting excited about life again. What does it take for you to be, if you're not excited about life, what does it take for you to be excited about life? What excites you? What gets you motivated? What, when you think about it, just sparks something within you and just lights you up from the inside out. That's the things that you need to find and focus on. And if there's anything that's keeping you from feeling that way or keeping you from that energy, those are the things that need to be reflected on during this full moon. Anything that keeps you from feeling that feeling, that holds you back from having your best life, to feeling that joy. So we have here, whole heart, devote yourself to your endeavors without concern. Committing helps you grow. That's that dedication I was kind of talking about there. Passage, in the moments between going from one place to another, you taste the sweetness of life. So this is beautiful because this is transitional energy. It's transitioning from one place to another. And again, it's kind of like appreciating where you are, appreciating life, appreciating not only where you've been, but where you are and where you're going. And enjoy the journey and taste the sweetness of this life. What I said, what wakes you up, what brings you joy, reflect on that, get in touch with that, and figure out, what is keeping you from living your best life, living your bliss. Is it the things you tell yourself? Is it the actions that you take? Is there pain that has not been resolved? Have you been in a relationship in the past that caused you a lot of pain, and now you're realizing you're in every relationship you have, you're reenacting those same pains, those same heartaches. That means usually that's indicative of a wound that has not been healed. And then we have the whole heart here. It's really, healing what needs to be healed, seeing what your shadow sides are, and coming to terms with them, accepting yourself for who you are, being happy with who you are, learning to love yourself, the good and the bad, learning to love all aspects of yourself, so that that you don't get, it lessens the ability, to get triggered. When you really are comfortable with who you are and who you are in your skin, and you can be authentic in the world, there's less that's going to trigger you, because you are comfortable with who you are. So no matter what somebody says, they're not going to have as much of an impact on your frame of mind. It's, again, once you have your mind under control, once you know and accept all the parts of you and you know who you are, there's very little from the outside that it can affect that, what you find about yourself, who you are. Once you know who you are, there's very little any external thing can say or do to affect or change that, who you are authentically, because it's who you are. Expect the unexpected. Life takes some serious twists and turns, so hold on for the ride. The results may surprise you. I love this energy coming through, because this full moon is really about, like, things can escalate like huge. This is a time when, if you're doing the manifestation work, if you're doing the work, you can manifest. Something can just, like, shift in a moment. Like, things can change, your life can change so unexpectedly. Like, and I love how this is like, once you understand who you are, once you get your demons under control. I'm getting that very strong. Get your demons kind of under control with these two cards. Get your demons under control. Go within, sort that stuff out. Get your mind in the right place. Know where you're headed. Heal any aspects. Whole heart, heal any. And let me tell you, once you heal a lot of these things, these wounds that you maybe have, for whatever reason, that can be an elixir to youth. When people, you can tell people that are living their authentic self. I mean, have you ever been drawn to somebody in your life that they just, like, glow, and they just, like, you love their energy, and you just want to bask in their energy, and you just want to be around them because you just love the energy that they emit? That's somebody walking in their authentic self. And when you are in your authentic energy, when you're being your authentic self, it just emits this immense radiant glow and energy, just that people want to be around that, and that's what this is calling for. Because once you can do that, once you can heal and really feel like you can be yourself and be your true authentic self, your life is going to shift. Things are going to happen unexpectedly. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to have just all these wonderful things that are going to come in for you. So let's go ahead. I think I want to pull some tarot here. I'm using the Seasonal Fox Tarot deck. We'll pull a few cards, and then we're going to go through, as I said, one card. We're going to use the Intuit Tarot deck here. We're going to use the Intuit Tarot to pull one card for each sign, zodiac sign, for this full moon. So give me a few cards here. What wants to come out? Give me a few Seasonal Fox Tarot cards here. I think one more. One more, please. Got one more for me? Nope, it does not. That's it. Okay. Oh, that's why. Because there were other cards under here. It was tricking me. There were other cards that came out there. That's why it wasn't letting me take any. Oh, there's all kinds of hidden cards. Okay, interesting. This is really interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to do this together. So we're going to read these together since they came out together and see what we have here. So we have the Four of Cups here with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles here. So yeah, this is really telling me, that it might not be the easiest thing to get our thoughts under control. It might take a little bit of time to do that, but I really feel like, the Queen of Pentacles is beautiful energy. It's like, almost like it can be, it's this very abundant, very nurturing, very loving energy. And I feel like this is what we're aiming for, to get our mindset into this abundant, beautiful, loving, nurturing ourselves, nurturing who we are and loving ourselves, and really appreciating what it is that we have in life. Because once we do that, because this is like where we might be now, is in this, I want to say, a little bit of stinking thinking, because this is talking about missed opportunities. The Four of Cups can be, this person's offering a cup, offering an opportunity, but the person's always usually just doesn't really care, not really paying attention, doesn't find interest in what's being offered. So it's really talking about looking at things from a different perspective, because this offer could be a huge offer, but it's being dismissed. And so that's talking about the fact that of thinking that you don't need this. You don't need this in your life, so I'm just going to dismiss it. Why should I bother with that? It's so small. It's not something, I've got all these cups over here. I don't need that little small cup that you're offering me. But it's when we change our viewpoint and change our way of thinking, and even though that offer might be small, it may be a small offer that's being offered there. Maybe look at it, take a moment and think about it, and because it can grow into something huge. That one little small thing that you might be dismissing, you may not be looking at. And I get this as may not be looking at. The one thing that you may not be looking at here, that needs to shift during this full moon. And it could, I feel like it's a way of thinking, of something, that you've taken for granted, or maybe, you've just always done, I feel like taken for granted, a way of thinking, a way of acting. It's just who you've been for, maybe X number of years, or your whole life, maybe. It maybe is a trait or a thought pattern that isn't serving your best self. And so that's what I feel like this full moon is saying. Really, is there a part of you that is maybe a little dismissive of others, dismissive of yourself, a part of yourself that you're dismissing, even, and as we talked about, maybe, calling yourself fat or stupid, or something that's very derogatory in nature. We all, I think many of us do that from time to time. I mean, I know I'm guilty of it. I've done that in my past, where I've had negative self-talk, and I still struggle with it. I have to be conscious about it. But the littlest shift like that, the littlest shift can cause huge ripple effects, because even though that's a small thing, it's a small, minute change. That small, minute change can lead to something huge in your life, a huge change for the better, for the positive, just healing that one thing and clearing that one thing up. So then these two cards came out together. We have Justice and the Hangman. And look at that. I mean, it's beautiful because this is everything. I love that this kind of is coming out in the center here because this is everything that we have been talking about here. You know, this is justice for yourself. Again, that's a balance, a card of balance, of coming into balance. And we've talked about this balance here, and it's coming into balance. And Hangman is getting, you know, from a different perspective. Oh, I love how those cards, like if I set them together, you see how the hills kind of just like they just go together, you know. It's like, you know, that just forms this huge picture. But it's really looking at things from a new perspective. Again, it's kind of a going inside. But this is giving justice to yourself. It's doing right by you, by who you are, you know, making yourself, you know, improving your own life, you know, improving your life. And that's what we're, you know, what's being called here is this is an opportunity to really change your life. This full moon is giving you the energy, the opportunity to clear any blockages that you have that's keeping you, holding you back from living your best life. That's what this is all about. So what's keeping you from living your best life? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is really interesting. I picked those up because these were all together. But see, living your best life. The 10 of Pentacles here. Living our best life. This is your best life. Manifest into reality, into this 3D reality material plane. Your best life. 10 of Pentacles. Living your best life. And that looks different for everybody. Everybody's best life is individual for each and every person. Oh, you know what? And I read this wrong. This is actually the 7 of Pentacles. That's interesting. This is so interesting because we have this special card that came out. So I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? This is interesting. Oh, that's the 8 of Pentacles even. I'm still if I could only read Roman numerals, right? I was just assuming that I was like just assuming there was 10 Pentacles there. But it's 8 of Pentacles, working, doing the effort, putting in the effort, working towards something, but it's stacking up, you know, it's benefiting you. Again, I'm getting, I still think it's leading to your 10 of Pentacles because I wouldn't have slipped like that. The Queen, it will lead to the 10 of Pentacles. You know, and the Queen of Pentacles, like that's why I said it'll lead to abundance in your life. You know, doing this small work, just taking this full moon to reflect on and change one small shift. That's all it takes. One different way of, different thought pattern, a different way of thinking, shifting one little thing, one small thing within you to better align with who you are authentically. Oh my gosh, I still said it wrong. Authentically. Okay, use your words. will help you escalate your life in grand ways. Expect the unexpected. I believe miracles and dreams can happen during this full moon. And you may not see it right away. I mean, it's going to start small, but I feel like it's a landslide. It's going to build and grow. You know, it's just going to stack and it's going to build and grow. Now we have here, this is interesting that this card, this is the special card for this deck. It's the 9-tailed fox, and there is no definition in the book. I read through the book and there's no definition for this special card. But the nine-tailed fox is it's supposed to be lucky in a sense. It's supposed to be, if I remember correctly, and I'm having to delve into my mind here and in my knowledge here. So take that with a grain of salt because just what's coming through to me is at the moment is one, it's beautiful, but it also can be a little bit of a trickster energy because it can, you know, it's a fox, and fox can be a little bit tricky, a little bit of trickster energy. But it's also, 9-tailed foxes, if I'm remembering correctly, are supposed to be luck, you know, good luck, good fortune, good things happening. And again, it's like a trick of the mind. It's like, just having, we can convince ourselves of anything. So it's like, what do we want to believe? Do we want to believe that the world is out to get us? Do we want to believe that that we can't accomplish something, or do we want to believe that we can, and know that, put that determination and faith behind us to do whatever it is that we want to do? Believe in ourselves. It's what it's really, I really feel like, it's really about, we as individuals have the ability to change our lives in a huge way if we believe we can. And that's where the cornerstone is. We have to have that belief. It all starts in the mind, and it's all getting power over your mind to know, to realize that you have the strength, you have the power, to live the life that you want to live, to be the person that you want to be. It all starts from a spark in the mind and a belief. It all starts from an intent, an intention, a belief, a small little spark that, that makes us believe certain things a certain way. And those beliefs always can be changed at any moment. We always have the power to change our mind, to change how we look at things, to change our perspective, that hangman energy, to bring ourselves justice, for something in life, because no one can give you the life that you want but you. No one on this planet can give you the life that you want to live, to be the person you want to be. No one can do that for you. Only you can do that for yourself. That there's no one else that can do that for you. And honestly, only you know the life that you want. You're the only one that can tell yourself that. You're the only one that knows that. So what is keeping you from living your best life? That's the question. I think that's the question. Thank you, universe. That is the question that wants to come through, that you should be asking yourself during this full moon. What is keeping me from living my best life? What is holding me back? Why am I not living my best life? What is keeping me from it? Is it a way of thinking? Is it actions that I'm taking? What's holding me back? So that's where I'm going to leave the collective message. I want to go ahead. I kind of want to leave these on the table, but I don't think I can, and do the signs. So I think I'm going to have to clean this up so we can do the signs, and I'll just put the timestamps so you guys can, you can pause it or whatever if you need to. Now, what's interesting about this deck that I'm using, the Intuit Tarot, is it literally is the only deck that I have reversals in the deck. That I allow the deck to, it's mixed. All the rest of my decks are all upright. This is the only one that the cards are whatever way they want to be. So it's an interesting... it's probably part of the reason I don't use this deck very often, except for when I'm really called to use it, because it has a special kind of energy for me. It's different for me. So let's go ahead. Ooh, okay. So Aries, Seven of Wands. So this is telling me, don't back down on something during this full moon, this energy. There's something you need to look at that maybe you have not confronted, is what I'm getting for you, Aries, that you have not confronted, that maybe you need to confront. Taurus, there's There's something you need to go after, okay? Something that you need to go after. You have a desire. There's a desire for something that you've been really thinking about, contemplating doing. It's telling me, Taurus, whatever it is you're contemplating doing, do it. Go after it. Whether you fail or not, attempt it. You know, go after it. Try to at least try it. You know, because it could pay off big is what I'm getting. Gemini, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. There's somebody that you need to tell that your feelings to, okay? And it's going to bring you a lot of happiness if you reveal your feelings to someone that you have not revealed them to. It's going to bring you a lot of happiness during this full moon. I think also for some of you, Geminis, you're also realizing you have feelings for someone where maybe you didn't realize before, that maybe the love bug, Cupid's arrow maybe has struck you and you didn't realize that you have feelings for someone. But for some of you, you've not expressed those feelings to someone, and this full moon is calling for you to look at those feelings and express those feelings that you have, to let them flow. Okay, Cancer. Cancer, what do you got for me for Cancer for this full moon? What do you got for Cancer for this full moon, please? Okay, there we go. The Fool. The Fool. Is this upright or down? Only fools rush in, holding back reckless lack of faith. Okay, so this tells me, Cancer, that there's a confidence issue. You're lacking confidence in yourself to do something. So it's lack of faith in yourself to be able to do something that you're wanting to do. There's a lack of confidence, a lack in faith in yourself. So this is saying during this full moon is a time to bolster that confidence, I really feel like, don't be, let me get the words here. Yeah, I think that's the main message, Cancer, is you're holding back because you don't have the confidence, but when you don't have the confidence, you can also stumble. So it's almost like a need to prepare a little bit. It's a bolstering yourself up, you know, build up your confidence and be prepared, you know, because confidence comes from being prepared. When we know something, we're comfortable with it. So it's getting comfortable in whatever it is, finding that comfort so that you can speak confidently or act confidently, whatever it is that you're afraid of doing or afraid of speaking of, that where there's this lack of confidence in yourself in some matter, it's calling to heal that. And the way to usually heal that is through either believing in yourself or being prepared, you know, where you're comfortable enough to be able to do it from a place that you feel more confident. Okay, so Leo, I think we're on Leo. 7 of Swords, straighten the record. Getting caught, confessions, remorse, unworkable strategy, come clean. So is there something that's bothering you, Leo? Is there something that's really bothering you that you need to, and I really get here that I feel like I'm getting a strong sense of ego and pride that maybe in some matter, for most of you Leos out there might be something with your ego and pride that maybe you acted in a certain way that might need a confession, an apology, or where you maybe said something rashly, out of turn, or something just retaliated, or, you know, just because you were hurting, struck out. I'm really getting like it was an impulsive action, You know, and I'm also getting a sense of regret, like something that you just want to, you know, like get off of your chest and um because I'm not getting a strong like getting caught energy. I'm getting more of that, the remorse and the prickled conscience, like just feeling like you did something that wasn't in the best interest of all parties involved. Because I think it was something rash and impulsive, and it had to do, I think for a lot of you, it had something to do with your pride and ego being a little bit bruised or damaged, and maybe something was said or done in the heat of the moment that you're regretting at this time, that you're feeling remorse about, that that you want to come clean about or confess, apologize, to take accountability. Okay, that's what it's coming through. There's a need to take accountability for an action that you may have done to someone. Okay, Virgo, what do we got for Virgo? The Five of Pentacles out of the woods. So yeah, I feel like this is a turning point. I really feel very strongly that this full moon is definitely a turning point. I'm seeing the wheels spinning, and everything that I said in the general collective reading prior to this very holds true for you, that, you know, really depending on how you want to look at things is going to really dictate or really going to dictate how future events play out for you, Virgo. I think that this moon is going to have a strong effect on you guys, because I feel like there's a shift that you've been wanting to make happen. I really feel like you're on that, you know, that something's been building. And so you can take two courses of actions. I think there's different directions you can go. And that's why this is a turning point for you during this full moon, is there's like different directions that you can, because you can handle the situation in different ways. So if it's like a job and you're ready, you know, it could be, you could decide to look at your job in a different way than you have in the past, or decide to move on from your job and find a new one. Or if it's you know, if it's a relationship, you know, you can either rebuild that, try and choose to rebuild that relationship, look at it from a different perspective, or you can choose to move on. Either way, I think whatever choice that you make, if you go into it positively, it's going to be a change for the positive for you, regardless. You know, whatever choice that you make, it's calling, it's like I said, everything in that collective, it's calling for a positive mindset. So I feel like if you get yourself out of this Five of Pentacles energy, which it can be this feeling out in the cold, this is coming out of that, you know, coming out of it, having that, you know, feeling like that you can move forward, you can make a choice and be, you know, a choice that's what is best for you, is what I get. Oh, okay. So for Libra, the World card. So definitely change. Okay, so this is telling me this is saying closure, seeking closure. So I feel like that there's something that needs to come to a close during this full moon. This is really a, you know, definitely a card of look at your situations in your life, look at what is keeping you stuck. This is what, because the world is all about completing something, completing a cycle so that a new one can begin. But this is telling me like that there is a need for closure on a cycle. So that tells me that you're stuck in some way, that you're in a pattern, there's a pattern you're repeating, Libras, that needs to come to an end, to come to a close. Whether that's a way of thinking, whether that's a person, place, or thing that you're involved with. You know, it could be, there could be a need to move, because the world can talk about travel. So there could be a need to move. And this full moon, there is a huge opportunity. This is a full moon where it's not surprising that people will just pick up and move their entire life across country. Like the people will, during this full moon, it wouldn't be surprising if someone just leaves their life behind, just says, I'm done, and picks up and moves off, you know. So it could be something like that. It could be a huge change, but it's something that needs to be come to a close in your life, Libra, that this is calling for to be closed at this time so that you can move forward, to get you unstuck. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, we have the Four of Wands. So I really feel like you're connecting. There's something that's coming up that during this full moon, I think that so for some of you, I think that, yeah, I'm getting the Lover returns, that somebody might come and offer you some type of commitment, a level up in a relationship. It doesn't mean that marriage necessarily, but somebody could come. And if you're looking for that, or you've been working with someone, like you've been involved with someone, there could be potentially that person decides to step up and step up the next level in the relationship, whatever that means for you. Whether that means, you know, going from casually dating to a relationship, or a relationship to moving in, relationship, or, you know, engagement, whatever. It just depends on your situation. But I also feel like too that there's going to be a chance for a lot of, I think a lot of good is going to come out of this celebration season for you, is what I'm really getting. I think being out among people and going to different celebrations, you're going to find, I almost get the sense that it's going to help you in some way, you know, being out and involved, whether that be going to your work holiday party and networking. And I think networking is going to be, can lead to something great right now for you during this coming week. I think networking is going to be important, or at least having a discussion I think it's going to lead to something more solid and tangible, stable in your life in some way. And it has to do with people, you know, whether that's a partner or other people. Like those connections that you make this week is going to lead to something like a step up. It's going to lead to something a little more stable in your life in some way. Where are we at? Sagittarius. We have the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, there's some stuff that really needs to be worked on here. I hate to say this, Sagittarius, but this is really calling on imbalance, that there's some, this is calling for you really to look at your shadow self, because this is if we looked at the Queen of Pentacles in the collective reading, and that was more in the upright. When we're in the upright, it is, you know, nurturing and abundant and caring, all those things. But in the negative, the Queen of Pentacles can be a perfectionist, ambitious, possessive, having an imbalance, you know, shallow, jealous of things. And so this is calling to, you know, to go within and look at maybe if there's any of these aspects I'm calling out. You know, are you feeling triggered by any of those words? If so, there's something you maybe want to look at during this full moon that needs to be healed, so that you can flip this Queen of Pentacles upside down. And this tells me, Sagittarius, that this message, the message, collective message, is really tied deeply to you, because we talked about the Queen of Pentacles in that part of the reading, and how that it's, you know, that one small change can lead to a great deal of abundance down the line for your life. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go in that full moon, which is today. It starts to actually kind of, I think, you know, we were kind of in the pre-shower. We're in the full moon energy as I've released this video. So Capricorn. Okay, this is a card special to this deck, the winter solstice. Find the light within. So again, this is the Hermit card. Hibernate. You know, validate your feelings. It's okay to feel the way you do about certain things. You know, it's okay to feel things, whatever that is. I almost get a feeling like maybe a lot of you Capricorns have denied your feelings, or stuffed your feelings down, swept them under the rugs, not really accepted fully, like maybe endings that have happened or circumstances that have happened that you've just kind of stamped your feelings down. And I feel like the full moon is kind of saying, hey, this is a good time to let yourself feel those feelings, to maybe heal some of those wounds. Go inside and heal a few of those wounds. Aquarius. One card for Aquarius, please. One card for Aquarius. The Page of Cups. Okay, broken dreams. Okay, so where have you been wounded? This is really telling me that this is almost giving me a forgiveness, like there's a need to forgive something, someone, is what I'm getting through, coming through, like a need for forgiveness for either the way people have treated you, or with inner child wounds, you know, it could be forgiving parents, parental figures, you know, for causing you those inner childhood wounding that you may have, you know, that have caused you to walk in the world a certain way. But it's really, what's really coming through strongly is just that there's some wounds, some wounding here that needs to be healed very strongly. Aquarius is what I'm getting. Okay, Pisces. Okay. The Sun. Woohoo! Just have fun. Count your blessings. Take stock. Be grateful. You know, this is calling authentic self. You know, be your true authentic self. Being your true authentic self is going to bring you happiness. I mean, it's that plain and simple. I don't think I need to elaborate on that. I mean, but, you know, being your authentic self is going to lead to a bunch of opportunity for you, Pisces. I think that it's going to pay off big time. And it will pay off for anyone, actually. I mean, it'll pay off for anyone. And I like how we have kind of covered everybody here, and I think everybody's kind of got their homework for the full moon. I hope that you'll contemplate and think about what I've said for your sign, and how that may affect you during this full moon. If it resonates with you, you know, if it doesn't, then hey, you know, you're just in a different place in the energy continuum right now. You're just in a different spot, maybe you know, and that's okay, because it happens. So this is just because we're pulling on the collective energy for the signs and for the collective at large. So it's not going to apply to every single person out there right now. You'll know if it applies to you, because when I talked about those cards, something probably would have hit, or you would have felt it to know that those messages were for you. So that's what I have. I thank you so much. I hope that I'll see you in one of my other readings, and hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I really appreciate all of you out there that support my channel and help it grow. I wish you the best harmony and gratitude.